Wayne speaks really powerfully to the folly of resolution when we're in an addictive disorder. People laugh off the idea that we're mentally ill, like they deny that mental illness can even be a thing, right? Because it doesn't look the way I think it should look. But Wayne brings to life, he desperately wanted something else. In fact, he had experienced something better, but he had been drawn back in, and now he's coming out after 11 and a half years of a prison sentence, and he knows that he has got a career in behavioral health because he's had a taste of it. He knows he's got all these things, but the challenges and all those things that confront someone when they first get out just draw you right back. So he had a resolution, but never a decision. And I think in Wayne's case is that he never got shown what the decision was until further along in the journey. He had to get high again and sort of repackaged. And I don't know, it's an interesting story, because what I know about Wayne is you'd never know he's lived the life he's lived by engaging him. You just wouldn't. I don't give, people just don't know that about Wayne when they meet him. I don't know that I've seen his nature change. I think that the one thing I've always known about Wayne that limited him was the way he thinks about himself. Because the way the rest of the world sees him is not how, when I met him, I saw him. I met him in a room full of people that I knew were neck deep in their own bullshit. And he was the only guy in the room, with the exception of me and Denise, who walked in, who seemed to have any idea that they were swimming in bullshit. And so I always saw him as true north, right? I always saw him as, knowing what was up and guiding others. I had no idea he was 6 days out of MRC. I would never have known that. So I haven't seen the vast changes in him, although before New Freedom opened, he had a little run with, first this and then that. And so he, as we do, we got a little magician in us. He disappeared. And he would resurface from time to time, and we would engage. But when it was time, he went to a couple detoxes, and we engaged then. And when it was time, he reemerged in time to help us launch New Freedom, and came in, obviously a little lethargic, but ready for business. He's been with us ever since. So what did I see? I've seen him come into his own. I've seen him have a lot less limiting thought about himself, and when he does, he expresses it more freely and more quickly, because he knows it's a lie. He knows those limiting thoughts are a lie, and that there's a difference between thinking it and knowing it. There's a difference between falsely, the devil's a liar, but the reality is knowing that the devil is my thoughts, and that those thorny thoughts will stop me in my tracks if I don't take the power out of them some way, and I'm powerless to do that. He's gotten really good at reaching out and saying, this is what I'm perceiving, this is what I'm hearing, walk me through it.